Hi, and welcome to this week's Mortgage Broker broadcast. This one is the last one of 2023, the last one of the year. And with the last one of the year, I just wanted to keep it quite sharp and on point, really, with regards to the podcast and the topic. Most of you now will have either wind down for Christmas or finished already for the festive, for the holiday season, whatever you want to call it. And so, yeah, I wanted to be quite short and specific on this week's podcast to end the year. Just one thing to remember, that if you haven't reviewed your year yet and taken the time to reflect and review or plan for next year yet, then don't panic. There is still time to do probably the most important job right now in terms of reviewing the year and planning for 2024. But what's important is not to panic and not rush your reviewing, your reflecting, and more importantly, not rushing your plans for 2024. So yeah, it's still important. You've still got time to do that. It's still important to do that. So over the past few weeks in December, we've sort of talked about reviewing for 2023. We've talked about numbers, which was last week. And this week, I just wanted to get in about actions, really, about taking action and hitting the ground running for 2024. So before we get into the podcast, here's Leigh Rowland, as always, with his final Mortgage Broker Bulletin of the year.
Thank you, Craig. Ho, ho, ho. Welcome to the 11th edition of the Mortgage Broker Bulletin. The base rate stayed the same at 5.25%. Swap rates are looking good, they're reducing, and some lenders have reduced some of their fixed rate products. So all in all, looking pretty promising. Now, you're all probably going to do a little bit of planning, a bit of forecasting over the Christmas period, but try to enjoy the time off with your families, recharge those batteries, and get at it for 2024. Thank you for all the support for the Mortgage Broker Bulletin over the last couple of months. Onwards, upwards and forwards, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thanks for that, Leigh. And as I said, last podcast of the year, short one to end the year, because you will hopefully now you've either finished for Christmas, finished for Christmas break, or you're finishing soon. So the podcast is just a reminder, really, that it is so important to enjoy this time of year, enjoy the time off, enjoy the break as much as you possibly can, switching off from your emails, your to-do list, all those sort of things as much as you possibly can, and enjoy the Christmas, enjoy the break with your friends, with your family, whoever you're sharing it with. It's important to switch off as much as you can and enjoy the time. And I know that you will enjoy it far more, because I know I enjoy it far more when I finally turn my laptop off for the end of the year and for Christmas. I know what my week one looks like. I know what my January looks like. So I think it's just so important that you do that, because then you will enjoy your time off and enjoy your break so much more if you know what day one looks like. You're back on the 2nd of January or in between Christmas and New Year, whatever it looks like for you. When you're planning to be back behind your desk, you know what that day looks like. You will enjoy your time off and your break if you know that you've got that structure in place to hit the ground running for 2024. So it is all about setting your clear actions to start the year. So whether you're looking at creating new habits or revisiting old habits, then it doesn't really matter about that, because of what you've got my take on before about New Year's resolutions, which we'll pick up on the podcast starting of next year again. But it's just so important to hit and start the year with such impact. So you've reviewed 2023, you know what your numbers are for 2024. It's now is looking at how are you going to achieve those numbers? What are your daily actions? What are your weekly actions? What does your structure look like from your day, your week point of view? What does your month look like? How are you going to hold yourself accountable? How are you going to take responsibility for these clear actions? And if you've got clear actions, it is about being specific with your actions. It's about what I'm going to do X every Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock, or I'm going to do Y every single Wednesday, or I'm going to do this every single week. You've got to have clear, specific actions to make sure you have to maximize the impact on your business. What you're not going to do is having those, oh, I'm going to do more of this kind of action, or I'm going to try and do that kind of thing. Bullshit. Just don't even bother. If you're going to put into your business plan, if you're going to put into your plans for 2024, I'm going to try or I'm going to do more of, don't put them in there. Just do not do it, because what does that actually mean? Your plan needs to have specific actions that you can hold yourself accountable for the start of the year. So you get into your desk and you knowing that. So you set out your plans, clear plans for 2024. You set out your clear actions of how you're going to achieve your plans. Your actions are how are you going to achieve it. And I get quite passionate about this, and hopefully you can see that from the podcast, is because I see too many business plans. I've seen it in the past where not specific, no responsibility, no accountability, very generalized, and they're never reviewed. They never come out of the drawer. They never reflected on. So just don't waste your time. If you're going to have those kind of things, just don't even bother putting a plan together. But if you want to hold yourself accountable and you want to achieve something and you want to have impact on your business for 2024, get your plan together and make sure that it's got clear actions for you. And if you don't do it now, week 1 of 2024 will just pass you by. You will not be taking action. You'll not have anything in place. You'll sort of walk into your office for the first day of 2024. It's the new year. You've got so good intentions, and then you start to plan what the week looks like, start to plan what the month looks like. And all of a sudden, you've not changed habits. You've not revisited all good habits. You've not got new habits in place. So just to be clear, whenever you turn back up for work, whatever that looks like between Christmas and New Year, or on the 2nd of January, 3rd of January, whenever that is, you need to walk back into your office, sit behind your laptop, sit behind your PC, whatever it is, and know exactly what you've got to do that day, that week, that month to make sure you're achieving what you want to achieve in 2024. So just to recap, as I said, make sure you're planning, make sure you've got clear specific actions, because you want to start the year as you mean to go on. Get it done now. And it's just important that you take the time off in Christmas and New Year. You've worked so hard this year. It's been a very challenging year for mortgage brokers. So it's just important to enjoy the break, enjoy the time with friends and family. And I know you will enjoy it far more if you've got a plan to have for your business for week 1 to have an impact and take action. So yeah, hopefully that's clear. Hopefully that was passionate enough. Get those actions in place. Know what week 1 looks like. Know what day 1 looks like. Know what week 1 looks like. Know what the month looks like for January. So thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. As always, any thoughts, comments, feedback on the podcast, wherever you listen to it or watch it on, then please do that. Have a great Christmas. Have a great New Year. And I truly believe that 2024 will be an amazing year for mortgage brokers. So it's important to enjoy the time off, because January and 2024 will be a good year for mortgage brokers. I'm convinced of that. So, yeah. And as always, don't forget to run your own race.